Hey, Low Riders, it's me, Lois, and I'm here to talk about season one of the Braxtons. So it's season one and episode two combined. First, let me say Tamar's a brat. Tamar has always been a brat. I used to watch Braxton Family Values. I also watched the show Vincent Tamar. Tamar is just a brat. So, with saying that, they went for healing therapy at Toni's house. And of course, Tamar always has to make it about her when it's not about her. But I'm listening to everyone. And well, first of all, I can see that Toni appears to look sick to me, alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual and factual. She's going through some personal health issues, so it's probably a lot for her, and she's trying not to get worked up because her heart is at stake. And that, I mean that literally. Her heart is at stake, so she needs to take care of herself. Okay. With that being said, I think that Tamar always interrupts. Number one, Towanda is just tired of Tamar. Period. Trina is super hurting. She is super hurting that Traci has passed away. My condolences to the Braxton family on the loss of Traci and her son Kevin and her husband. But Trina is literally hurting, and she's explaining why she's hurting and the things that she does when she's going through this hurt. And of course, Tamar, I'm sorry, let her get out what she has to say. And then maybe ask some questions, okay? Because you're not really sorry, because you'll say you're sorry and then you'll take it back. You know what I'm saying? Toni says she's at the angry phase. She hasn't got to the acceptance stage yet. And I understand where Toni's coming from, because Toni's been dealing with a life-threatening illness for quite some time. And now she has more compounded on top of that. And she's worried about her health. She's worried about her children. And now she's also grieving her sister as well. And then she has to hear all this from Tamar, because that's where it's coming from. No one else is doing that. I think the four of the sisters had a really good relationship and they respected each other's boundaries. But Tamar doesn't respect anyone's boundaries. Okay. And then Towanda, she's indifferent because she's actually seen, to me, appears to have learned how to balance. This is my personal life over here. This is my life with my sisters. And I'm not going to co-mingle the two together, because I don't want whatever's going on here to affect what's going on here. And I respect that, Towanda. And Tamar, she's just looking for attention at every turn, because she's complaining about everything. No one talks to her. No one tells her anything. But you're not saying who does these things. Who is not talking to you, Tamar? Who is not telling you anything? Toni steps up and apologizes if she made you feel that way, and you didn't acknowledge yay or nay if it was her or not. You know what I'm saying? So I don't appreciate that. Trina, you acknowledge that she does call you. She answers every time. And the same thing with Towanda. Towanda said, every time you call me, I answer. Every time you text me, I respond. You know what I'm saying? So what is the problem, and who are you having a problem with in this family that no one is communicating with you? Now, let's remember, Tamar, that you were the one from the Braxton family values that thought that you were better than the rest of your sisters once your career started taking off and you were living in a total different state than they were. And only time you came around when they was filming, so you can make a lot of noise. I noticed what you do is you like to yell a lot, and you're never really clear and concise in what you're talking about. But you're claiming that you have therapy. Well, it's not working. Okay, Tamar, the therapy is not working. I need you to go back and start over. Okay. All right. And then I feel that Miss Evelyn, the mama is the problem of the lack thereof of communication amongst the sisters that Tamar is possibly feeling, or what she thinks she's seeing, because it seems to me that Trina and Towanda and Traci, God rest her soul, and Towanda had a good relationship, and still have a good relationship, although Traci is gone. They have a good relationship. It's Tamar that's the wild card. And I blame that on Miss Evelyn, because when Toni was coming up in her career, the Braxtons did try to make a splash, so to speak. And they did a song that I liked back in the day. But Miss Evelyn made Toni responsible for bringing her daughters in with her. When they went to look for a record deal, they didn't want the Braxtons. They only wanted Toni. And that's a fact. They only wanted Toni. They did not want the sisters. But Miss Evelyn laid that heavy responsibility on Toni's shoulders. Those are your sisters. That's your family. You make sure that they're a success. If you're a success, they're a success, and so forth and so on, alleged, and in my opinion, with some actual and factual. It is not Toni's responsibility to make them a success. That is their responsibility. Just like when they chose Toni, L.A. Reid and Babyface chose Toni Braxton to be their star. That's who they wanted. It was up to either the girls or you to continue to promote your daughters to try and get them a record deal. But you made that Toni's responsibility. And with doing that, you created some discontent amongst your daughters, because Traci got left out altogether because she got pregnant. So y'all just said, fuck it, Traci's gone. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cared enough to keep the group together, but then you made it Toni's responsibility to make sure if she has any success, that her sisters are carried along with her. Y'all didn't give that woman a moment to enjoy her own success. And then she got married, she had children, and you still was picking at her. Make sure your sisters are there. Make sure your sisters are your backup singers. Make sure when you go on tour, they go on tour, and all that, alleged, in my opinion, with some actual and factual. I think that was very selfish of you, Miss Evelyn, as a mother, to put that responsibility on Toni when she was just a young child herself and just starting to path out her own career. And you made it her responsibility. You coddled her. You pit your children against each other. Yes, you did, because you made it seem like Toni was responsible for all of them, and they each were responsible for each other, and that's not fair. Because Toni was the oldest, she was responsible for all of them, but they each was responsible for each other's success. That was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling that. You sat back and allowed your children to do a lot of infighting, and not once did you apologize to them for how you pushed one of your children to make sure all your children were great, or the name Braxton became famous. You know what I'm saying? And that's not fair to Toni. Okay? And then you coddled Tamar and made Toni responsible for Traci, Trina, Towanda, success. Toni never had a chance to singly enjoy her success, is what I'm saying. She never really enjoyed it. And I can't even imagine what she was going through when she was married. You probably interfered so much with her career and how she was doing her career that she could not even focus on her marriage and her children. And she mentioned that tonight. She had to think about, do I take care of my family, or do I take care of my sisters? Because that was always told to me. But she never said where it comes from. But I remember something that Ayanla said, so all this foulness or whatever comes from the head of the fish. And you are the head of the fish. We understand that your husband cheated on you, but you took that attitude and you presented it to your children to the point that the children disliked their daddy. Was he a good daddy, or wasn't he a good daddy? Or you just mad because he cheated on you? Because you have done some things to your children emotionally and mentally that may take years of therapy to come out of. You know what I'm saying? And you walking around talking about you want a man like Denzel, that walks like Denzel and his chocolate and all this other stuff. In my mind, I'm thinking that you can't get a man because possibly something in your attitude and the way that you are, because Michael mentioned that. Yes, your ex-husband mentioned that a while back on the Braxton family values, but you didn't listen to what he was saying. You was too busy accusing him. He's already owned what he did. He's apologized for what he did. And he was wrong, absolutely wrong. But something was wrong there, that this man decided, I'm going to go ahead and leave my five daughters and son and go elsewhere. Something happened there. And that's what you need to talk about. You need to heal from that so you can stop putting all that trauma on your children. Okay? And then you was screaming at the kids, talking about they fighting and all that. That's because you have engaged that and allowed that for years. I've watched it on the Family Braxton Values. I'm watching it now, and we're only 2 episodes in. It's like, you basically, Tamar starts all the damn fights. She starts yelling and screaming, and everybody's wondering what the hell is going on. And you have yet to check Tamar about her attitude. Yeah, you threatened her a couple of times. You threatened to slap the piss out of her, or whatever the flipping dip you said, or however you said it. You threatened to slap her, but you didn't check her on her behavior. And I remember back in Family Braxton Values how they said that we have always catered and coddled Tamar. We have let her have her way. Now she is a grown adult of 40-something years old, still behaving like a little child, because all she used to do was scream loudly, and everybody would stop what they were doing, drop what they were doing, and go see about Tamar. Well, we can't do that no more. Tamar is an adult. She needs to take care of herself, and she needs to figure out emotionally and mentally how to deal with being an adult, because she's still in her little child mode. And you mentioned that you can't fix this and blah, blah, blah. It's not your place to fix it. I'm a mother. I'm not a fixer. Yes, it is your place to fix it, because you're the one that unfixed it in the first place. You're the one that messed it up in the first place. You put all these negative thoughts in your children's heads. And I do kind of thank God and like the fact that Traci was kind of excluded, because she found a loving husband and she wasn't involved in a lot of the bull crap. And when she came around, she explained to y'all how badly y'all behave, each and every one of y'all, but nobody was listening to her. Now that she's gone, you want to listen to her. Miss Evelyn, it all starts with you. You have to stop blaming everybody else for their bad behavior, because you instilled that in them. You made Toni the matriarch of the family, the Braxton family, and made her in charge of your children, and made her responsible for your children's successes and your children's careers. And now you want to you're wondering why they act the way they do. There possibly is some bitterness there. And the bitterness is because what you instilled in them was not really family values. And that's it. That's all I got to say about that. Low riders, I know this is a new subject, a new show for you guys, but I'd like you to get down in the comments. Tell me what you think about this, because I am going to be reviewing the show, because I do like the Braxtons. Okay, Tamar get on my nerves. Let's be real clear. Toni do get on my nerves, but I like the relationship with the other women, because they don't have all that jittling and jiving around that Tamar has, and all that chaos that she has going on. And I can remember Vince, her ex-husband, telling her to stop being like that, because everybody's not going to put up with that. But Tamar just doesn't listen, okay? So please get down in these comments. Tell me what you think about this video. And I will see you tomorrow with my video on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And we're going to get into some other stuff. I'm just experimenting right now to see what you guys like. I'm just going to go out on a limb and hope that you guys will enjoy my content and commentary. And just continue to follow me. Help get these viewerships up and stuff. Go ahead and subscribe, comment, share, and like. And I love you guys to the moon and back. Wakanda forever. Mwah. Peace.